Okay, for this question, we are going to find the equation of the parabola in the standard form, and we want the vertex to be at 4, -2, and the y-intercept to be at 0, -50. Well, because we are given the vertex, so we know that this right here is h, k. So it's a good idea to start with the vertex form of the parabola. And let's go ahead and do the work right here. We are going to start by using y is equal to a times x minus h, and then we square that, and then we add a k after that. Well, first let's just throw in the numbers. So we get y equals, a we don't know yet, but we know we will have x minus, the h is 4, and then after that we square this, and in the end we add the k, which is -2. So this is what we have. How can we figure out a though? Well, don't forget we still have this information. And remember, when we have the y-intercept, this is just a point, right? The point when x is equal to 0 and the y is at -50. So all we have to do is put the -50 for the y. So let's go ahead and write that down. And the a, we still don't know. And the x, we know it will be 0. And then we have the rest, which is -4, and then square, and then this is plus -2, so it's -2, like this. Then of course we can just work this out. Have a look. Right here, we will have -50. This is -4, right? And then you square that, it's -4 times -4, which is positive 16. So we have 16 times a, and then we are going to -2 after that. Well, for this, let's add 2 on both sides. So you see, this and that will cancel. And then we will end up with 16a equals -50 plus 2 is -48. And what do we do next? Of course, divide both sides by 16. They cancel. And we just have to work that out. This is going to be a equals -48 divided by 16. We get -3. So here we have it. A is equal to -3. However, we're not done yet though, because the question is asking us for the standard form. So this is what we have to do. Put the -3 for the a right here, and then we are going to work this out and collect like terms. Have a look. Put this right here, so we know y is equal to a is -3, and then we multiply by x minus 4, and then square that, and then here we have the -2 after that, yeah? So we have all this. So again, you have to figure out the h, k value, and also the a value, like this. Now, this is how we are going to multiply this out. Have a look. Let's go ahead and work out the exponent first. This is x minus 4 square. Let me just put it down right here for you guys. X minus 4 square means x minus 4 times x minus 4. Yep. Multiply this out. Well, this times this, we get x squared. This times this, we get -4x. And let me just put it on the top. Then, this times this, guess what? It's also -4x. This and that, we can combine like terms. So we end up with -8x. Lastly, this times this, we get plus 16. So, let's come back here. We get -3 in the front. And for this part, we have this, which is x squared minus 8x plus 16. And then in the end, we have the -2. Right? Then we just have to distribute this guy. And then we'll see. This times this is -3x squared. -3 times this, which is positive 24. And then we have the x term. And then -3 times positive 16 is -48. Right? Well, don't forget in the end here we have the -2. So finally, we will just have to combine these two terms, and -48 minus 2 is -50. So let's go ahead and write this down. Y equals -3x squared plus 24x, and then minus 50. This right here is our answer to that. Okay, for this question, we are going to find the equation of the parabola in standard form, and we want the x-intercept to be at -2 and 8, and the y-intercept to be at 64. So here is the deal. Whenever we are given the x-intercept, well, this and that, we will just call them to be r and s. Then we can use the factorative form first. So that's the good start, right? So let me write this down right here for you guys. We will be using y that's equal to a times x minus r and then times x minus s. Whenever we have the factorative form, this and that, they are the x-intercepts. And because we're given the x-intercepts, of course, we can just use that. Let's go ahead and plug in first. Then we see y is equal to a times x minus the r, which is -2. Then we multiply by x minus the s, which is 8. So that's what we have, right? That's what we have. Now, we still have to find the a. Well, here, again, we have the y-intercept. And if the question is just telling you the y-intercept is at 64, this is really like saying we have this as 0, 64, right? Now, remember, when we have the y-intercept, the x is 0 and the y is 64. Then we just have to plug in. Have a look. Put the 64 for the y, and that's equal to a we don't know. Well, the x we do know is 0. Negative and negative is plus, right? And then we have the 2. And then the x right here is 0. And then again, we have the -8 like this. Now, let's work this out. Have a look. This is 2 times -8, which is -16. And then we have the a. And then on the left-hand side, we have 64. Then, of course, to solve for a, we can just divide both sides by -16. So you will see that a is equal to 64 divided by -16. We have a is equal to -4. So this is very nice. Now we can just put this back here, and then we just have to work it out. Let me show you. Well, putting this down right here, we will have y equals a is -4, right? And then, of course, I'll just write down the rest. This is x plus 2 times, right, plus 2, and then we have x minus 8. Well, as my recommendation, let's go ahead and multiply this out first. And then in the end, we just have the -4 on the outside. So have a look. This is -4, yeah? All right, this times this is x squared. This times this, x times -8 is -8x, right? -8x. And the reason I want to put this right here is because this times this is what? Positive 2x. Together, -8x plus 2x is -6x, right? And then lastly, this times this is -16. Very good. Now, distribute, distribute, distribute. This times this, we get -4x squared, and then this times this is plus 24x. And finally, -4 times -16, we get positive 64. Just like that, right? So let's go ahead and say y is equal to all this right here on the right-hand side, and here we have our answer. That's it.